All right, forgive us for picking the obvious choice here, but our worst of the week has to go to the entire 2024 Republican field. And the one person we just had to speak with about this debate, disaster, is comedian and friend of the show, Matt Friend. Matt, great to see you, bud. Welcome back.
I am so excited to be back.
By the way, let's just tell our viewers that I think we reached out to you a month ago when we know that the debate was happening, and we were like, if there's one person we need to speak to about this, it's got to be you.
Yeah, so you knew some crazy stuff was about to go down.
Call it an intuition, journalistic intuition.
Sure.
But I got to ask you, so Donald Trump did not appear in the debate. What do you think he was thinking watching?
Excuse me. You are such a nasty guy. You tee that up on the after the mugshot, which is so bad what you're doing. This is MSNBC. They lie like dogs. You can ask them. They lie like dogs. And I will tell you, you don't do a debate when you're up by 60 points. You don't debate these people, these clowns, the horrible people. And you would know that if you watched my Tucker, which was a great conversation. But there was no point in debating against Rob DeSanctimonious and Vivek, who's just a nasty guy. Some are saying you're related, probably. But that's who knew they gave him a show, right? But Nikki Haley, who's a witch, and Mike Pence. Mike Pence is just failing. So you don't do that. You don't do that.
All right.
What a bad guy.
All right.
You're a terrible person.
You talk about...
I need character. Get me out of it.
I don't know how, to be honest with you. That's the problem. All right, so you talk about Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis, some people said he was the real loser in this debate. What do you think he was thinking throughout all of this?
Yeah, I mean, well, look, first of all, here's what matters most, okay? When I become the president, come high noon on Jan 20, I take the oath of office. You don't coddle someone like Fauci. You sit him down and you say, Anthony, you are fired. I will not let you down.
Okay, that was Ron's response. I just want to know, what was going on with when he was smiling. Was it like a Botox thing? It was the most forced smile.
He is a politician that never has grown into a natural role. He doesn't do retail politics well. He doesn't have the kind of comfortable level of just moving his hands.
Like
his hands
McConnell, just so comfortable.
He puts his hands on his waist.
Yeah, sure, it's just so weird. What he does is, he kind of moves his arms in the same accordion style motion, but his voice is more back here. He's like Trump without personality, is what he is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's talk about the breakout star, according to some, as you just called him, Vivek, but Vivek Ramaswamy, and also stealing a line from Barack Obama. Not very original.
Well, I'm working on the Vivek, but no, he's just, I can't wait for him to announce his new campaign slogan. He's just well, first of all, some of you might be wondering why I'm here tonight. And that is because I'm just a skinny guy with a funny last name who's eager to share my new campaign slogan. Yes, we can. I invented that. I think Obama would be upset, actually, at Vivek Ramaswamy Melania Trumped that.
Right.
Full on just taking his moves. It was amazing.
Is it hard for you to study these guys, or are they all have such distinct characteristics that for you it's just so easy to kind of pick up on them?
I mean, honestly, a lot of them are just in my mind so much. I mean, I'm
are you traumatized? Do you when you have to sit there?
When I see DeSantis try to smile, that's the traumatizing. Or McConnell freezing. But no, honestly,
what do you do to just do you take a cold shower and just be like, I got to wash this off of me because you're walking around all day?
No, honestly, it's just, these guys are like actors, basically. Right. It's like I'm watching a movie, which I know is a frightening thing to say because this is politics and they're dramatically impacting our lives. But it's entertainment, honestly, as horrible as it is to say. But I feel disgusting. Honestly.
One person that we have not heard from this week, Mitch McConnell. I would love to know what Mitch McConnell thought of the...
Yes. What was your question?
What did you think, Mitch? What did you think of the Republican field? You've talked about character and integrity being...
Well, listen, I think that my party has presented a slew of interesting candidates who I look forward to seeing potentially challenge Joe.
I feel like is this the part where we have to nudge you along?
I think so. I'm making a real callback to the McConnell freeze. Yeah.
Joking aside for a moment,
please.
And I know that's kind of hard, but genuinely, when you look at the field of the Republican Party, is there anyone out there that you think you cannot do?
Vocally?
Yeah.
Or just as an impression?
As an
I
impression.
mean, Nikki Haley would be really tough to
Yeah.
do. Chris Christie's a little like, there's not much there to pick apart. But I mean, DeSantis just kind of has that nasal thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish George Santos was running, because who wouldn't love a little
Do you think he
Santos?
was watching that debate thinking like, I can talk my way?
He wants
into
to get in on this.
You think he would?
But yeah, no, I mean, there's just so many of these crazy figures. It's wild. I mean, it's overwhelming, honestly. I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. It's like the Academy Awards of politics.
I saw your mugshot impression of Donald Trump.
Yes.
You want to give us a little bit of a? How do you think that went inside in the jailhouse? Do you think they were
Well-
like blue steel?
Well, first of all, what you're doing is another classic MSNBC setup. You're tricking me, and I will tell you that they're locking up their political opponents. And, some are saying that I am the Prigozhin of the United States. And that Biden is the Putin, because next thing you know, they're going to come for me like that. And it's very dangerous territory because no one's talking about locking up Hunter Biden and the Burisma laptop. So it's our look at Amen, Yaman, like Jamaica. And frankly, it's just horrible. So they're going to put me behind bars, and it's just very unfair, China. Very unfair.
You think they would do that to you in China?
I think potentially Xi would do that. Potentially Xi would do that. He had a lot of respect for me. Tremendous respect.
How do you think it's going to play out with Trump in the campaign and the indictments? I mean, do you think he's becoming more and more unhinged when you're looking at like the social media posts? He's going after the prosecutors and the judges, but then he's going on never surrender and selling mugs.
I think he's definitely becoming more unhinged, which is kind of hard to imagine, honestly. I mean, he just had he's marketing his mugshot, which obviously we knew he would do.
Yeah.
And then obviously the whole Tucker interview where they ranged from everything to Biden's skinny legs to if Epstein killed himself, the issues that matter in this country. So it appears that he is progressively losing his mind. But I would be very interested to see how he performs if he is behind bars, which it's seeming like he will be as the days go on. It'd be funny, the basement and behind bars,
Do you think Tucker Carlson? Do you think Tucker Carlson regrets not being at Fox during these presidential debates?
Well, first of all, I really resent the setup of the question. First of all, I think what we should really get down to the important questions, such as if Epstein did kill himself, was Joe Biden there with his skinny legs like he is on the beach? And if he was, why aren't we holding him accountable or throwing him into jail? I'm sorry. Let me just, while I have America's attention, what is going on with Tucker's laugh? I mean, I'm 25 years old. I've never had a prostate exam, but I imagine that's how I might react.
I have no idea. I can't explain it. I'm glad that we don't have to hear as much of it anymore, to be honest. Matt Friend, always great to see you, my friend. I don't know when we'll...
You are the best. Thank you for having me.
We always appreciate having you on. I'm sure we're going to find a lot more times to have you on.
I love you, Matt. You're amazing. So thanks for having me.
Anytime you have a new, I guess, skit.
Yeah, no, and come see me on the road,
No, of course,
too.
yeah.
I got all my shows at mattfriend.com. Yeah, a lot of cities. So
find the
see me on the road,
dates,
yeah.
Follow you on Instagram, follow you on TikTok, everywhere.
And
Appreciate
Truth
it.
Social. Yeah,
And
you
Truth
can find me there. Yeah, huge. I'm like the Charlie D'Amelio of the alt-right. You know what I mean?
You're number 2 after Donald Trump. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you.